Alright guys, today's update, we have launched our first marketing campaign. We call it a CFG. It's a specially configured ad campaign where we basically scale down the audience as much as possible, from interest to interest to interest, to just narrow it down to a very precise targeting audience. This way we can get some more important data much quicker, and we don't need to spend as much to get as much data. I rewatched my previous video and I realized some of you might not know what a metapixel is. So a pixel is a piece of code that you place on your website or store, and it basically tracks people's behavior on that store. For instance, if they added to cart, or if they initiated purchase, or initiated checkout, or if they purchased. But the pixel can also be used in track data on ads. For instance, you can target 50% video viewers, meaning people who watched 50% of your ad creative, and then you can basically use the information that the pixel learns, and you kind of use the metaphor that you pay for data. That's because the pixel needs to learn who your audience is before it can make some good decisions on who to market to. Just a piece of code that you use, and you kind of need it to use paid traffic wisely. So right now, last night, I had a chat with my coaches, sent over a few, the matter I discussed in the previous video, and he came with his idea. I mean, both are worth testing. He said his gut feeling went for the first alternative, meaning that the customer goes to the checkout or to the cart page, and if they want to, they can go back, because we always want to guide the customers towards the checkout automatically. But they're both worth testing, but we're going to go with this one. I feel like it's wiser to use his experience to my advantage. I mean, his gut feeling is just based on his own experiences, right? I don't carry as much experience as he does, so that would be wiser. So I sat down now, made some ad creatives. The ads are launching at midnight tonight. When you launch your ads, you should never launch them midday, because the daily budget that you set your ads to, for instance, if you're new, you're probably setting your budget to like $6 a day, which means if you start the budget, because if you set it at $6 a day, the ad set will try to spend the full amount during the whole day, right? So if you start at midnight, it will even out the spend continuously throughout the day. But if you start your ad, let's say at 6 p.m., it will spend the whole day, the budget, in those last 6 hours, and that's not good. So it's better to always make sure that your ad sets start at midnight the following day, to make sure that your ad spend is spread out evenly throughout the day, so you don't waste any money or miss out on any customers. But the beginning of launching a new product typically looks a bit down, because you're purchasing data. The metapixel is learning and learning and learning, getting feedback, understanding, and then eventually starting to get like, okay, this is the type of person who clicks the links, this is the type of person who purchases your products, and then it kind of goes up. So the profit margin typically goes down a bit. You spend a little bit more you're basically purchasing data, and when you have data, everything goes a little bit smoother. But this product is still testing or being tested, so yeah, we have a lot to do, but right now it's patience that is required. I'm trying to set up the retargeting campaigns, just looking at my screen right now from Ads Manager. Problem is when you create your let's see what's the word for it in I think it's called like specific audiences, or custom audience. Then you would need it to have already happened. For instance, because retargeting, we're basically retargeting to people who has already interacted with our Facebook or Instagram engagements or posts. I mean, or people who watched 50% of the videos, or people who have visited the website, etc. But we can't choose a bucket of, for instance, purchases until someone has purchased. We start off launching this first initial campaign, and then we can set up the retargeting when we have the data for it. Though I have set up an automation tool from Shopify. It's called an app called Privy. On Privy you can automate email marketing for people who are, for instance, left their carts abandoned, or people who just entered a page and not done anything, or people initiated checkout and left for some reason. People forget to check out sometimes. It's a true thing. They may be on the bus and then they walk off and then they forget about it, or they're at home buying something and the baby starts crying. I gotta go after the 9 to 5. How exciting! So, also completely forgot to mention this before I go. I want to discuss the importance of increasing your AOV, average order value, and some methods of doing it. And I've been so focused and so busy, I completely forgot to eat breakfast. And it's 3 o'clock in the day, so yeah, shit, man. Fasting, that's what we're doing, right? But yeah, AOV, why it's so important is because, and retargeting, it's because the what you would consider ad spend doesn't exist. It's basically free customers getting customers without paying for them. So it's basically just free income, basically. So that's why you want to set up your retargeting and different email retargeting sequences, and so basically you don't spend any money and you get a lot of customers, because by paid traffic you still spend a sum, so you have a cost per customer, and thereby you need to consider the ROAS in your marketing, return on ad spend. But when you have free organic customers coming back to your store, you don't pay anything for it. You basically only go in profit. It's impossible to go negative. Even if they do make a return, you're still in profit because you didn't spend anything getting that customer. And some different options to increase your AOV is, for instance, you could upsells and cross sells. You could do quantity breaks. You could bundle additional products to improve your offer. Post-purchase upsells, and offering a free shipping kind of, what's the word for it? Free shipping threshold. So basically that means like spend $50 to get free shipping, even though the shipping is free, or should be if you're dropshipping. So basically the upsell that I chose was basically you can select another variant and get that for 30% discount. Because I'm buying the product pretty cheaply. I'm buying it directly from the manufacturer and through AutoDS, which has like a special deal with these manufacturers, which makes the break-even points a lot more better for me. I can do higher discounts, and so yeah, that's everything for today. I gotta go. See you later. Yeah.